welcome to the Beauty and Violence podcast. Just four guys having fun. I'm Chris.
All right. I'm Rose.
I'm Jim.
John Jobs.
All right. Yesterday was a crazy night of fights. There were definitely some standouts. Anthony Smith definitely surprised me. He showed he showed a lion heart, and he showed how he was able to bounce back from those last losses.
Adversity.
So,
I need to talk about my man Anthony Smith, because yesterday on our predictions, I told y'all when it switched to main event, what I told y'all, he was gonna turn up. And look at him. Look what happened. And did you know that it was his, like, he was the one begging for the 5 rounds?
Yeah.
For it to be a 5-round fight? Because it's supposed to be a 3-round fight. He was like, nah, I wanted 5 rounds. And Devin Clark was like, all right, cool. But it's just like, that just shows this dude is not playing. He likes being in the main event.
Yeah.
And did you see him in the beginning of the fight? I'm sorry, that fight had me so hyped. I want to talk about it. Did you see him right in the beginning when he took him down? And he was like literally dragging him to the middle of the octagon. I haven't seen someone do it like that in a while. And Devin Clark is a big dude. And he made that look easy. And that's not easy to do. Like, Anthony Smith went in there with a mission. He was like, I'm going to beat the crap out of this guy. And I mean, that submission came like that. Boom.
Not only that, but Clark came in heavy too. He came in with a lot of pressure, heavy hands immediately. So Anthony Smith showed that he's a very well-rounded fighter as well. A lot of people think that he's just a stand-up guy, but he has a lot of submissions on his record. So he almost had a twister. He almost had the twister as well.
Almost.
So yeah.
I like the way Anthony Smith explained it too in the post-fight interview. He said he wanted the 5 rounds because he thought he had better cardio, and he said that, you know, the 3rd, 4th, 5th round, it's going to be his advantage because he didn't think Devin Clark, you know, would have a chance in the later rounds, and he puts him away pretty quick with that triangle.
Yeah. And Devin had never been in a 5-round fight, so he knows he has the advantage there.
Yeah.
So that basically speaks to John's point yesterday about how the fact that it was a 5-round fight made his mindset just different, and he put him away. He put him away faster because of it.
Yeah, even just from him walking out to the octagon, everybody who was here was like, "Oh, this man means business." Like, even people who didn't know who he was, they were like, "Something's in this man's eyes right now."
Yeah, because if you're preparing for a 5-round fight, you're already training your mind to prepare for war. So if you're prepared for war, I feel like that brings a savage out like even more, and that's where Anthony Smith thrives.
And the funny thing is, the irony is, Devin Clark's wife told him, you know, to get him out in the first round, because knock him out in the first round because of, you know, I believe his mother-in-law passed away. Rest in peace. So that also shows you that sometimes the pressure, you know, sometimes you can't go into a fight with too much pressure as
emotional.
well.
He was emotional about it.
So what were some like standout like fights like?
Let's run down the main event real quick, because we got some. I mean, my man Boricua Miguel Baeza, Thunder. You know what I'm saying? Did you see that fight? Oh, this kid is gonna be a problem. Oh my God, he demolished that dude.
And who was the last guy he beat? Who's the last guy he beat before?
It was wasn't it Matt Brown.
Matt Brown.
Yeah, he finished him.
Which is crazy. This guy came out of nowhere. His first was it his first UFC fight?
I think that was his. I think that was either his debut or his second fight in the UFC.
He knocked him the fuck out too, if I remember.
Yeah, he did.
Finished him. This kid he's nasty, bro. And I love how Dana White in the press conference was like, and he's Puerto Rican. When we go back to New York, he was like, it's over. It was hilarious. My only fight that I actually, as far as my picks that I lost, was the Josh Parisian and Parker Porter, the heavyweights, which again brings to my point why I don't like heavyweight fights all the time. It was just too sloppy. It was too, Parisian should have had that fight, but the problem is in the first round, he slayed this combo that was like, he had Parker right here and he had nothing left. He couldn't even move his arms after that. And it was on. And then it was just 2 guys. And it was just the rest of the fight. And it was like, And granted, they still throw. They're huge men, but it's just like.
Those heavyweights, I mean, they were on the big country Roy Nelson diet. I mean, they look like they just left the fucking barbecue. and were just wheezing after 30 seconds. I mean, don't get me wrong. You know, any of those guys could knock out most people, but man, get on
including all of us. Yes.
Yeah, easy.
Yep.
So you had
I thought Parisian was gonna win. Yeah.
Okay, and you mentioned the first fight of the night.
Oh, Nathan Maness. That fight was insane. These guys were literally beating the crap out of each other. If you saw it, you saw. I mean, Nathan got hit with some shit in that fight, and they were going back and forth. And the way he cracked him at the end, got him in a rear naked choke real quick. I mean, he's so fast and explosive, and he obviously could take a hit because, good Lord, I don't know how that man was alive after all those shots. But it's just like he's gonna be a fun like what's that guy's name? The people's champ, the nightmare, Diego Sanchez. He's gonna be like that kind of fighter.
Oh,
I think.
Overall, let's give props to the card because the entire prelims, all finishes.
Yeah,
all
incredible. I heard that
guy.
so much.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! What's it? Sumudarji.
That's the guy. That's the guy I'm most impressed with.
His hands,
yo,
the accuracy, the speed, the precision. Beautiful. That guy's gonna be excited to watch.
So that guy's really impressive because he's a flyweight. He got a 40-second KO in that fight. And get this, at 125, he's 5'8" and has a 72-inch reach. This guy's going to be a real problem at flyweight.
72 inch. That's Sean O'Malley's reach.
I think that's longer than mine, to be honest.
As long as he stays out of America and eating cheeseburgers, he's gonna make it, bro.
Yeah.
That was good. So let me. I want to bring up the Rachel Ostovich fight real quick because like it was like it's hard to say it from a layman, but I don't want to sound. But it was just such a lack of talent in that fight. Both of those women could have easily finished that fight so many different times, and it's just like neither of them took the opportunity, the simple opportunity that was there over and over and over again. You know, I had people in the house, 2 people in my house that night that were watching it with me that do fight, and they were just like furious at those women because they were just not taking their opportunities. I don't know.
So you're saying that? So I didn't get a chance to see that fight, but you're saying that neither one of them had like a high fight IQ.
It's hard to say they did, man. It was really like it was just so many missed opportunities. There was a lot of wailing at each other, nowhere near. Then they're on the ground, and it's just like simple maneuvers could have changed everything, but they didn't seem like they knew what to do almost. You know.
But at least Gina got to finish. At least she finished Rachel. It feels like Rachel's not really.
She better.
Yeah, like Rachel. It seems like Rachel is not really in the sport as much as she used to be. Like on Ultimate Fighter, she was really good. She was focused.
She was pretty good on, yeah.
She was, but now it's like, maybe she might, I'm not gonna say that, but maybe Instagram and everything.
OnlyFans. I think that's what you meant to say. let me help you out there. OnlyFans.
Listen, what I think keeps Rachel Ostovich in most of her fights is her chin. The woman could take a punch, and this woman Gina, like she bombed her many times in that fight, and it's almost like Rachel didn't even realize she was getting hit. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But then with that chin, it's got to come. You gotta be forward. You gotta be offensive. And she just wasn't being. She was kind of like it looked like she was just sleeping throughout the fight. It was crazy.
So I'd be crazy not to mention the Tyson fight that happened last night.
Yeah.
Like I was definitely shocked to see Mike still in such good shape, still have that kind of like killer mentality. Like it was kind of crazy to see. Like to be honest, like I scored that fight probably 6 rounds or 7 rounds to 1, like in favor of Mike Tyson. How'd you guys see it?
I had Tyson only losing 1 round. I think that was round 2. I don't remember which round. It was one of the beginning rounds. And I say losing loosely, but the thing that blew my mind the most is that Tyson turned up at the end, at like round 5, 6, 7, 8. Like it was like I thought he was gonna come bum rush him and then just kind of coast the rest of the way. He was just pacing himself. He was feeling his body. And once he realized, oh, I still kind of got it, and then came out like round 6. It was just, I mean, it was nuts.
Yeah.
For his age at that point where even the 2-minute rounds, people, but these guys are 50 years old. They tired. Roy Jones after round 1 was like, he was missing the water in his mouth. He didn't know what to do. You know?
But I honestly had Jones winning maybe 3 or 4 rounds. I don't think it was a tie though. I think that because it was an exhibition match, they wanted to, maybe work the rematch angle in the future. But Tyson, a lot of his shots weren't landing clean in the earlier rounds. Mm-hmm. But later on, as Roy was gassing more and more, Tyson was landing some good body shots, good movement. Impressive to see him at 56 years old to still have that kind of power and that kind of fight IQ. I think that if he had the same IQ now that he fought the same way back then, same IQ, he would have had a longer career for sure.
I agree. But also, and I want to point out that the reffing was very strange. It was doing way too much clinching in that fight. Yeah, and they were just allowing it.
You had to.
And granted, I like when the refs let him dirty box, but it was like half the fight was dirty box, and it was just like, what's going on?
Roy, listen, if Roy didn't hug him, Roy would have died. He would have died.
I agree. I agree 100%.
He also bought that ticket. You know.
I think that was Roy's game plan the whole time because Tyson was throwing some fucking fast combinations for an older man. I mean, if Roy didn't tangle up in the clinch, he might have got his head popped off. But you know what? That draw, I don't know. That draw was nonsense. I had Tyson up 6 out of 8 rounds, but you know what really had me laughing was fucking Snoop on commentary. He goes, oh shit, it's like 2 uncles at the fucking cookout.
Yeah. He was singing at one point. He was singing to Nate Robinson.
That shit was cracking me up. He's like, oh shit, the barbecue. It's like, yo, it's like, watch out, yo, your uncle had his food already. He's coming for you.
and then Nate Robinson, remember when Nate Robinson and Jake Paul were fighting? And then Nate Robinson is laid out, and everybody's like, we should get medical attention. And Snoop is like, he's fine, he's from the hood, he'll be up in a minute.
He fine. Like, who said? So I think Snoop was like, he's like, why the fuck you wearing basketball shoes? You know this is a boxing match.
Like, yo, somebody need to give him some boxing shoes in the next round.
Yeah. I was worried when I first saw Snoop Dogg, but he killed it. He was good. He was actually good.
Yeah. How do you think about Izzy's debut in analyst work?
I feel he was very quiet. He wasn't he was definitely nervous because these guys know how to continue talking. Where Izzy talks with these, So and he trolls. So he was like, you see all these guys exchanging, bam, 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 and so many times, and they keep talking about all these fighters and this and that. Like, you guys know who's right there next to you? It's probably because potentially going to be the greatest fighter of all time, sitting right next to you. You better give him some spotlight, But at the same rate, he didn't take his spotlight. He was just like kind of allowing them to do their thing. But I feel like the other commentators should have gave him more spotlight because they don't know the gem that's sitting right next to them. No point in
telling. Yeah. And honestly, speaking of that fight, so what are your thoughts on that fight? The Jake Paul, Nate Robinson.
Okay, so my thing is with that fight is Jake. From my understanding, Jake Paul is a professional boxer, right?
No, he's only had one other boxing fight, but he's been training boxing a long time.
Okay, like so he never had like that fight that he had, like those fights that he had, like that I could find on YouTube. Those weren't like professional fights. Those were amateur. This
is only his second pro fight.
Yeah.
To my knowledge.
But this was the second pro fight. So I was gonna because what I was gonna say was looking at Nate Robinson, I was just wondering how they could even sanction like a fight like that.
Good question.
Like
the whole fight is just him putting his face in his chest.
Yeah.
That's all he was doing.
Yo, and I thought at some point Nate Robinson was gonna body slam him. Because like especially like in the opening round, like I was like, yo, am I watching an MMA fight? Like,
yeah.
It was weird, man. It was those two men had no business being in the ring together. No business at all.
You also have to consider the age difference. I think there's a 13-year age difference. Jake Paul's 23, I think Nate's 36. I mean,
This This was the karate hottie fighting the grandma again. That's what this was.
Yeah, but
should have never happened.
But you know what?
And then
people,
you know what? Go ahead, Joe. Go ahead. I guess.
I was gonna say like a lot of celebrities seem surprised because I guess they think that because he's a ball player or from the hood that would carry him through. I'm like, dude, this hood stuff only works so far.
Like, you ever been to the hood? You ever been to the hood? I don't know.
I mean,
I think
the thing is, you gotta. Okay, so if he was, because he's such a supreme athlete, he's won a dunk contest and all this other stuff. If you probably put him in just a random situation to fight Jake Paul,
exactly.
it might be a little different. I think he'll still get washed, but it'll be a little different because he'll be able to, like, I don't know, like grab him and try to ragdoll him or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like do some dirty shit. But that's a whole different story when you like confine to just boxing itself.
Yep. When it's just these bad boys, it's a different experience.
That was cringeworthy. Like when he got knocked out the third time, when he fell down the third time. When he fell down the third time, that was so cringeworthy.
Oh man!
The first time, how the ref took like mad long to get to 10. He was like 9, 9, 9. He's like, I think you're right. He's not all right, bro. He's in third grade right now.
Oh man!
Man, he flopped at the end though.
In his post-fight interview, he's like, you guys don't. I'm taking this seriously. I want to do this for a living, and calls out everybody who's not a boxer. You want to do this for a living, but you didn't call out one boxer.
Oh, by the way,
Conor McGregor, calls out Dylan Dennis.
Those call-outs were great. Calling out
Ben Askren and shit like that. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
What did he say? What did Conor say?
I didn't read it, but I saw the headline. Conor responds to Jake Paul's call-out. So hopefully that fight happens.
Oh my god!
I'd watch it. I mean, Conor's got to fight Pacquiao first. Get obliterated. Probably take one more run at the title at lightweight, and then he'll be fighting YouTube stars in fucking Ireland on the street.
Yo, he just laid out the rest of Conor's career
That's the
like
timeline
in like 10 seconds.
And then more dollies getting thrown.
It's so funny. On Conor, we were talking about last night about whether Khabib could possibly come back for his 30th and whether we want that. And I was saying, I love Khabib. Everybody knows I love Khabib, and I would love for him to come back. But I also kind of want to see Conor as a champion again, just for the hell of it. And that ain't never going to happen with Khabib here. So I'm just like, I'm on the fence. I don't know. If he comes back just for his 30th, and then I say fight the winner of Tony Ferguson Oliveira and call it a day. But Ferguson Oliveira, man.
Because I don't think at this point GSP is gonna come out of retirement. Like it's like he's
GSP ain't cutting that kind of weight, bro.
Yeah,
he cuts weight to 170. It's like he's not cutting that weight. Even though, he looks slim, everybody's like, oh my God, he looks so slim. He's like, because he does his own weight cutting just for the hell of it, because he's weird. But I don't know. I don't foresee that happening at all. And if it were to happen, I don't see it happening in the UFC. I see it like kind of like a promotional thing like that Tyson did with Jones.
Probably, yeah.
I don't see that in the UFC. I don't even think Dana wants that, to be honest.
I think what I want them to do, if Khabib if he's really not coming back, or they don't think he's coming back, this might be controversial, but you know what? Strip him of the title and make Conor versus Dustin for the title, or at least the interim title. Like, get a little more hype around that.
That's what everybody wants, but it's just, and I think it has a lot to do with the no crowd still shit too. I think Dana just like, he really, if he's gonna do something like a title fight with Conor, he needs a crowd. Like Dana's dying for crowds to come back,
Yeah.
So even though the UFC's doing well still, they're doing their thing. I was just telling them yesterday how, like, even without the crowd, how beautiful the Apex is. Like, it's just they're so good at what they do. It's just awesome. You almost don't even realize it when you're watching the fight. Yeah. Oh, did you guys hear the fake crowd at the Tyson fight too? That was funny.
Oh yeah.
That was bizarre. That was bizarre.
I thought that was. I mean, I was like, I was like going to take a piss, like in the while that was happening, and then I was like, is there a crowd in there? Like I came back and I was like, where are the people?
That was weird.
Every time they land a punch, what the hell?
Oh, by the way, guys, I want to share something with you. So I don't know if you noticed, but I have a piece of MMA history on right now. I have an Affliction shirt on. But this is the Affliction trilogy shirt. The fight that never happened. It was supposed to be Fedor versus Josh Barnett. But Barnett, straight up tested positive for steroids. They had to cancel the event. all of them. They found all of them in a system. They had to cancel the event, essentially bankrupting, I believe, Affliction MMA. And I was just, with my family over the holidays, and my cousin was a cage fighter and literally was working for the Affliction promotion. And this is a legit shirt from like when you worked there for that cursed event.
Wow.
So I just wanted to share a little piece of history there.
So you're trying to bring it to beauty and violence now? That's what you're trying to do, brother?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yo, what do you guys think of the replacement fights that are going on? So like Kevin Holland versus
the switch
Jacare.
of Kevin Holland. Yeah. I'm less excited for Holland versus Jacare just because I know Jacare's foot is out the door. He's been talking about retirement and stuff like that, so it doesn't excite me. The way Hermanson did that.
Still very dangerous
that
though.
Fight 100%. Jacare Souza's a monster, but it's just. Does it excite me?
No.
It's still a good win for Holland if he wins. It's still a good win, but it's not like if he won Hermanson, one of the top prospects right now. Like if he beat Hermanson, that's a whole different story.
And imagine the vibe. Imagine the vibe of a Hermanson and what you call it, Holland fight. Like what's his name will be Holland will be talking smack the whole time with like this serial killer right in front of him. Like I live for shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like.
And it's like it won't be bad shit. These guys will talk healthy shit to each other, and and afterwards they'll show love and respect. But it's just I'm low key mad, but I'm glad Holland still gets a fight, a notable fight too. I'm glad. So
yeah.
And what about Oh yeah, go ahead.
Jen. I was gonna say I don't see any plan where Martin Vettori beats Hermanson. Like Vettori's he's a solid fighter, but I think that Hermanson is too crafty for him.
I agree.
To speak to Jim's point is like I don't feel like Vettori has like crazy knockout power or anything. I think he's a solid puncher, but he's not like a super powerful puncher like a Jared Cannonier who can put Hermanson out. So I don't know. I think Hermanson is gonna eventually get him to the ground. I think what's his name like his game. I think Vettori's game plan is take down heavy. So I think that's going to favor, what's his name, Jack Hermanson.
Yeah, I got Hermanson too. I mean, he's pretty entertaining. He's got mostly finishes. I mean, he either knocks you out, submits you, or gets knocked the fuck out himself. So I think that's going to be a pretty entertaining fight.
Yeah.
I mean, I got Hermanson winning. I just don't want to sit here and sleep on Vettori because he's a solid dude.
He is. But I don't know. Okay, so he went to a decision with Izzy, like in the beginning of his career when Izzy was still kind of like finding his like MMA identity. So I guess you could, respect that, but I still don't know if he's been tested to that level yet. Like, I don't think so.
Look, the rematch. That might be fight of the century.
Yeah, I'll bet on it.
The rematch.
I'll bet on it.
You heard that? You heard the crickets after you said that?
What do you guys
there was a fight on the card. There was another fight on the card. A girl fight on the card. That was
Norma Dumont?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That was a pretty good fight.
That might be my new bae, man.
What happened to Queen of Violence, man?
Oh, she's still there. She's healing up,
That's your side piece?
Listen, everybody knows Valerie Laredo is my wife. It is what it is. Nothing I can do about that. I love you, baby. No, but Norma Dumont is, Jesus. That was domination in every aspect of that fight.
Yeah. She actually could have finished that fight if she was more aggressive, in the last 2 rounds. Because she wasn't getting much back. You know what I mean?
I think it was purposely though. I think she knew that this girl could pop. This girl could throw too. She didn't want to. I don't think she minded going the distance. She looked like she kind of wanted to.
Yeah.
So she fought a great fight. She fought a good pace, and it was entertaining from beginning to end. She was doing her thing.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
I commend her for not even going for the finish. Sometimes a decision is fun. Sometimes, and she did her thing. She did her thing. She needs to get that scale correct. She was 3.5 pounds overweight. She needs to get that corrected. She wants to come down to bantamweight. She's got to start changing it up because Uncle Dana don't like that.
Yeah.
But it's smart for her to come down to bantamweight though, because everybody knows the featherweight division is dying. There's no featherweight woman like that. Not enough to have a division at least.
4 fighters at featherweight.
Notable, yeah, maybe.
Okay, off the top of your head, I got one last thing. So off the top of your head, what division do you think is the most stacked division right now? Because people always say like lightweight, and I strongly disagree with that. So what do you guys think off the top of your heads?
Off the top, most stacked? I don't know, because a lot of divisions are stacked right now. This is a fun time right now. The one I'm most excited about right now, I can't believe I'm saying this, is flyweight. These guys got me like, they got my blood flowing, bro. I love these guys. Yeah.
The flyweights,
I'm ready for Moreno and Figueiredo. Oh my God, am I ready for that fight?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, welterweights too.
I would have to say welterweight. Welterweight.
Yeah. I was going to say welterweight, but it's just like the other classes, like even light heavyweight is looking crazy now. Like every weight class is looking really good. You know, we don't have like a stagnant weight class at the moment, at least besides heavyweight.
I see what you're saying. Like this. Boy, before I say what I was going to say, what's yours? What about you, Chris?
That's a tough one. You know what? I might have to say welterweight. I mean, you got Usman, Colby Covington. You got anyone else at 170. It's got to be.
He said anyone else.
Anyone else.
You got these two and all those other guys.
Yeah. You know, and all the 30 fighters that I can't quite think of at the moment. I got welterweight.
No, because just think about it like this. Like you got guys who like you don't even think about, like Jeff Neal, Luque, Ponzinibbio. These people are guys that you don't even think about, and like Neil Magny and all these other guys, right? Then you got the guys who are at the top. You got Usman, you got Gamebred, you got Leon Edwards, you got Hamzat, you got the dark horse coming back, Santiago Ponzinibbio. Nobody's talking about my man. Wait till he comes back. It's gonna be a problem, son.
CM Punk,
Wonder Boy.
He's coming back.
Wonder Boy.
He said that with distinction. You heard? You saw him? CM Punk.
And if he comes back, I might have to make my own debut. Like I'll call out CM Punk. Like that's the conditions of the contract that I have to fight CM Punk.
That's a winnable fight, man. Don't undersell yourself.
It is. It's crazy shit.
Oh man.
This was a hell of a card though.
Definitely was.
And what was the other guy that won by I believe won by submission? The dragon tattoo on his back, the Brazilian guy. Dos Santos? What was his name?
That was a good performance too, yeah.
Dos Santos?
Yes.
Yeah.
That
good
dude.
Performance. Yeah.
It's funny because as they're starting, I think it was Day, right? Day fought, I think it was. They're starting the fight, and we're there, and I'm like, I had Dos Santos winning, but I wanted to see the vibes. And you see they're introducing him, and he's, you know, his Brazilian steroid himself. And then they show Day, and he's just standing there. He looks like he a lost puppy. And I was like, this Day guy is about to get murked. And sure enough.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
He did.
That dude's going to be fun, too, man. I like it. I like it.
I think one of the funniest quotes I heard like all night was, not funniest, but realest quotes, is that you can't play boxing. Like you could, just because you could jump to the moon and you're super athletic for 5'9", you could beat Dwight Howard in 3 dunk contests. It does not mean that you can get in there and just win a fight off of, like he said before his fight, he said he wants to prove that he's one of the most athletic people of all time. But being an athlete doesn't mean that you're going to win a fight.
Exactly.
It doesn't mean that at all.
Especially like you said, especially when you're confined to boxing rules, when you don't have the same skill set and discipline. You know, the same technique. It's a different kind of thing. Like this is why a lot of hood people come to like MMA gyms and get submitted and get beat up quickly, because they don't have the same discipline or experience.
Mm-hmm.
Or guys like James Toney comes from boxing into MMA, which is a whole different world, and thinks he's just gonna win off of knowing how to naturally fight. So
that was a shameful fight.
For some reason, it brings up a Tom Segura joke from one of his stand-ups where he was saying that he speaks perfect, beautiful Spanish. And he was like, somebody would be like, oh, I speak Spanish too. And he's like, no, you don't. He's like, I took 4 years of Spanish in high school. He's like, well, I took 4 years of football, and the Broncos aren't taking a look at me right now. You know? I always bring you back to that joke.
It's facts.
I like that. I like that. All right, so we got like 2 minutes left. We'll probably just end off with what's a future fight? What card is going on this weekend actually?
The next one is Hermanson, isn't it?
Yeah, it's from Manson, I think.
Oh, perfect. There's definitely gonna be a lot of content there. Hopefully no one pops for COVID. And
I mean, don't get me wrong, the undercard looks a little dry, but we'll work some stuff out.
Yeah, there'll probably be some standouts, just like there was last night. And
all right, so predictions. Who thinks there's a Tyson Jones rematch?
Nah,
I wouldn't bet on it.
Who thinks Tyson fights again? Period.
I don't know. Tyson might bully him into another fight because Tyson was looking like Jones was looking kind of intimidated by Tyson.
In the post-fight interview, it was Jones who said that he wanted a rematch.
Yeah.
Once they said it was a draw, well, his response was, "I don't like draws. I wear draws."
Yeah, funny.
And he said, "I want a rematch. We can do the rematch if he wants to." He's like, "Because he don't like a draw."
Yeah,
but if they if they do a rematch, me neither. I could see it happen. I could see it. Will it? I don't think so. Because I wasn't super excited about it. Period. It surprised me. Went to 8 rounds and was competitive in a sense. It surprised the hell out of me. Because when you're hearing all these rumors about the lack of rules and the too many rules. And you said they were going to wear headgear, which they didn't. No knockouts and no judges and all this stuff and no winner. And then the announcer's like, "Hey, even though it's not a winner, they're going to go announce a winner now." Like, what?
Yeah.
What the hell are we
all right,
talking about?
We got like 20 seconds left.
All right.
So, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next week with our predictions.